Hey, good morning, fuckers! It's another day here at the beautiful Daily BM, and I have my buddy Mikey with me. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's happening, everybody? How we all doing?
Oh, you're drinking a nice little cup of Joe to start your morning, huh?
Yes, sir. Black
Hey,
coffee.
So
fast.
So I know you always make fun of me for the fad shit, but I started drinking this hydrogen water.
Right.
If nobody knows what it is, it's ion bottles. I guess they're the grandfather. They're like the AOL of hydrogen water. The first to do it,
Right.
probably the first to go too. But they say it takes 4 to 6 weeks. So I said, you know what, fuck it, I'll try it, see what it's about. And then of course I made my wife cringe last night because I was like, yeah, I said I'm probably gonna figure out that hydrogen causes like hydrogen poisoning in your blood, and you end up croaking from it. The end. You know what I mean? It's
Hydrogen poisoning, the end, game over.
hydrogen poisoning, the end. Just
The
like
end.
that. Just like that. We loved Brad, but you know, he took hydrogen to a whole other level. But yeah, so you know. But you know what I've been really enjoying lately, man? Before we start getting into the show today.
What's that?
I've been enjoying like fucking hiking.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, you live in Florida. There's not many places, quote unquote, to hike. You can't like hike a mountain and shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I've come to find like locally here, you know, just going up like the hills out at like Carter Road has a really nice park, you know, with those hills and stuff. But so I did double like the time that you and I did. So instead of 5, I did 10. So I did 5 to start, went all the way around another mile. And then
This was yesterday?
Yeah, and then I came back and I did another 5 up and down towards the end. Let me tell you something, that kicked my ass, that last 5, because I was already like, you know, 2 miles into the walk or whatever, or, you know, the hike, coming back, and I was like, oh, God, I have another fucking 5 minutes back to the car. And then I was like, my ass is already killing me.
Oh, yeah. Those hikes up the hill will definitely get your glutes firing.
Oh, yeah, man. I was like, my kind of wait for the butt of all jokes here, but my buns were on fire, man. I was like sitting there going, I was like, damn, dude. I was like, I am so old and so out of shape that my glutes were freaking just on fire just from 10 times up the damn hill. You know what I mean? I was like, golly.
It's such a good workout.
How have you been doing on your fitness stuff?
It's been whipping my ass lately.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing okay. I've been having some knee pains, some foot pains, but overall I've been doing pretty good. I've just been, you know, massaging through it and conditioning it and trusting the process.
What have you been massaging?
My feet and my knee.
Is that what you call it?
I got this new I showed it to you. It's called the Fix.
Mm-hmm.
It's got THC and CBD in it. It's a balm with shea butter.
Okay.
Shea butter. And I put that on my knees and on my arches, and it made a world of difference as far as inflammation and pain. At night, I just put a little bit on each knee and then on each arch of my foot, and I've definitely noticed a difference with that product.
Now, what's the part of CBD and versus THC? What is
2 to 1?
2 to 1. It's a 2 to 1 ratio.
Yeah, 2 to 1 ratio. Yep.
You found that's been super beneficial.
Yes, for inflammation. Yes, I've noticed a big difference with my inflammation levels. They've definitely declined.
No, that is a topical, right?
Correct.
Okay,
it's a balm.
Oh, okay. So
it feels almost like a wax.
Is it? Yeah. Is it like oily, or is it kind of like just like a beard wax?
Yeah, it's oily.
It is oily. Oh, okay.
It's a little oily feeling
or anything, or I mean, does it like get on your clothes and get like? Well, you obviously you're not gonna walk around with no shirt on for the rest of the day if you like go get a massage, asshole.
You like. Well, you kind of rub it in and then it absorbs, and it's not greasy or sticky after the fact, but it does have that like you know. Have you ever used shea butter?
Shea butter. Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? It feels just like that because that's what it's infused into. It's infused into shea butter. So it's like a lotion, basically, like a thicker balm lotion. Like it's not like creamy like some of the lotions. It's more like a wax, it almost feels like. So it gives you that kind of like a wax coating, but it's not colored. So it doesn't like dye your clothes. I mean, I'm sure if you're wearing something that's easily stainable, it probably would stain.
Mm-hmm.
Because it'll pick up the dirt and debris, like wax does. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's like gonna do that. I mean, like I usually put that stuff on before, like an hour before bed, you know.
Right.
So basically, like last night, what I did is I worked out. I did my running program, then I my strength and core program, and then I jumped in the sauna. Did 30 minutes in the sweat sauna. So, oh my god, I can't talk.
Yeah,
the
talk about that because you just bought a new sauna, right?
Yeah. And then after I got out of the sauna, you know, I dried off while my pores were open, and I applied that cream while my pores were, you know, open from the heat. So that way they could absorb it better. But yeah, so I just bought a one of those collapsible saunas.
Right.
It was relatively inexpensive. I think it was like $350, and it included the ice plunge little like pop up whatchamacallit ice bath thing. And I haven't set that up yet, but I just set the sauna up, and I was thoroughly impressed with it because it actually kicks out a fair bit of heat. You know, I was in it for like 30 minutes last night, and I got a really good sweat. It was really relaxing. It was because it's wet. It was good for your circulatory system and your respiratory system. Helped me out with my allergies quite a bit. I've only used it twice so far, but both times I used it, I was very happy with the results. So the jury's still out as far as how long it's going to last.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, I'm very happy with it.
Now, how often? I mean, now what I've read is that you use the steam in the evening, and then you use the polar plunge deal in the mornings. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's what I've heard as well. Yeah.
Now, is there like a set time frame? Like, are you supposed to do it every day, or is it something that you know you only do once a week?
So from what I've read, you can do saunas every day. You know, they may say 20 minutes if you're used to them, like I've done in the past. So like I can sit in 30 minutes without any problem, no negative side effects. So, you know, 30 minutes in the sauna. And then from what the cold plunge I've read, now obviously I haven't done a lot of research on it yet because I haven't started, but it's supposed to be 3 to 5 times a week. You know, for up to a minute, I think, to start. And then you can gradually increase then, but you're not supposed to spend more than 10 minutes in the cold plunge.
Oh, really?
It can cause damage.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it can cause damage to your skin and stuff. And hypothermia and a whole bunch of other problems. You can build up a cold tolerance, but that's just what I read briefly. Like I haven't done a lot of research on it yet. I was buying the sauna more because it just, you know, you can burn a lot of calories sweating in a sauna with no activity. So it's a great way to get an extra burn in. Plus the sweating is good for your pores because it helps you release toxins out of your body. It's good for your circulation system because it causes the blood to get to the surface of your skin to cool you off.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of health benefits from wet saunas and dry saunas that you can have. So
I don't know why I wanted to crack a joke so bad. And when you were talking about you could be like 10 minutes no longer because it could create damage of hypothermia, all I envisioned was, it's okay, Jack. I'll see you again, Jack. And you pushing somebody's head into the ice pod. And Jack just floating down to the bottom of the ice pod, dying.
Yeah.
There was room on that damn thing. There was room on that. I don't care what Rose says.
Yeah.
Rose is the Jenny of the Titanic.
The Jenny of the Titanic.
Everybody knows Jenny was an asshole. I know we've said it before
100%.
on shows, but Jenny was an asshole. What she did to Forrest.
I know, that was horrible.
It makes me laugh when I think about it, though, because I'm like going, you know, if you really look at it, and here comes the women haters coming out of the group.
Yeah.
Attack me on this, but if you really think about it, and those 2 movies alone, what was it? A woman.
Yeah.
That did the damage. First one was Jenny. Oh, yeah, Forrest, I love you. Bolts. Comes back like years later. Hey, I had a kid by you, by the way. Nowadays, you know, you'd have somebody going, yo, man, we're going to get a DNA test. Make sure that's mine.
Yeah, no kidding.
The second one was Rose. She's like, I'm sorry, Jack. You're going to die. Let go of him and let him sink to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, the problem is, it's not that he couldn't fit. He didn't have the energy to get onto the raft.
We'll never know. Leonardo DiCaprio still refuses to answer that question. Was there room on that or not? He always just laughs and turns his head.
It wasn't. See, that's where the mistake is it has nothing to do with the room. It has to do with the strength and the ability to get onto it.
Bullshit.
Well, that's how that girl died from Glee.
See,
What was her name?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Yeah. Here, talk while I look it
I
up.
was just gonna say, if I was Jack, I'd have flipped Rose off that bitch.
That's because you're an asshole.
I'd have been like, "Hey, Rose, slide over."
Yeah.
Whoosh.
Yeah.
And then I would have grabbed her hand and go, "I will always love you." Kiss her on the forehead, push her down.
It was like Naya Rivera. She's the one that passed away. She was she went out on a pontoon boat in a lake with her son, and I guess they were swimming, and the boat anchor broke free, or maybe it wasn't anchored. I don't know exactly what happened, but she was able to swim back, grab her son and swim over to the boat. And she had enough strength to push him up onto the boat, lift him out of the water, get him up there. But she couldn't get herself out of the water into the boat because I guess she had exhausted herself.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time that, while she was sitting there trying to recover, the cold set in, and then she just died, drowned. So that's what happened to us, I think, with Jack, is I think he just physically did not have enough strength left to pull himself up there without knocking both of them off and then putting everybody in danger. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then he was just going to hang out there and hope for rescue to come along, and then they didn't get there in time. The people coming in to rescue the people,
right? Because
they were afraid that they went in there, they were going to get capsized by people trying to get on the boat, and panicking. So it was pretty bad situation all around.
Have you, speaking, I know I'm talking about like, Rose and I feel like I'm women bashing, but I'm really not, guys. All right. Okay. Maybe I am a little bit, but have you heard about this new saying called passport bros? What's been floating around the internet? I've been seeing some we
talked
other podcasters
about it.
Talking about it. I know
we talked about it briefly.
Yeah, I know, but it's okay. So if anybody who doesn't know, if you didn't listen to the prior episodes, it's basically when a man who dates a foreign woman, it's usually from, other countries. When I say foreign, from the United States. And because the Urban Dictionary actually says that it's their definition of it, it's a belief that Western women have been influenced by societal pressures to behave in a certain way. I'm
seeing a lot of that on Instagram. I actually saw an article this morning where there's military men that are coming home with Japanese wives.
Yep.
Because they are so much different than the American counterparts as far as their demeanor, their want to be a mother, and their want to be in a relationship. Their want to be a wife as opposed to being the boss babe. So there's a lot of men that are seeking that out because I think that's where they need to go. I mean, my feeling on it. I feel that society has led women astray and made it taboo that being, a mother and a stay-home wife and taking care of the family is a bad thing. So I think that it's definitely, become an issue with people.
Right.
And for women in relationships.
I've said it before on prior shows too. Eddie Murphy said it best, even in his comedy reel back in the 80s. He is like, you go to another country. I don't know if you remember that part of Delirious, or it's either Delirious or Raw. I can't remember because those are the two ones that he did that were really big. But he was talking about like picking up he was talking about picking up a woman from like Africa or something like that. He goes, and the problem is you bring them over to the United States, and he goes, you never let them get an American friend. He goes, because that woman will influence her to change her. And then, I want half, Eddie. I want half. But there is no reward for a man, and again, like, let me, before I get to that, the passport thing, I saw a woman, and this is a shining example. It was obviously an American woman. She was overseas, right? And she's getting slammed online. And that's what made me kind of tune into it this morning. And I wanted to touch on it a little bit. But she was getting slammed. She had a total reverse action. She was like basically dogging out the men for being over there, picking up the women. And then she tried to do another video saying, I just want to let you know. But you could tell she was being condescending and a little sarcastic. You know what I mean?
Right.
The reality was, and she was like going, all these basic guys over here getting, da 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 da. And I'm like looking at this chick and I'm going, bitch, you are like the epitome of basic. You know what I mean? She wasn't even, I mean, sorry. I mean, I sound like a dick when I say it, but if you ever hear this woman, you are the epitome of basic. I am no one to, I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm no fucking Brad Pitt, or Ryan Reynolds and shit. You know what I mean? But I know my limitations. You know what I'm saying? I might be a basic white dude, but I'm just simply telling you, you're a basic white chick. Period. I mean, so you got exactly what the fuck was coming to you and they were beating the shit out of her in the comments, dude. And I'm like,
I can only imagine.
And the bottom line is good for them. Good for those dudes. I don't care if they're basic or if they're fucking hot as shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If they want a certain woman to be a certain way that complements them, so be it. I'm happy for you, brother. You know what I mean? There's guys that like douchey women, just like there's women that like douchey guys. You know what I mean? And we all have a little bit of douchiness to us. I mean, anybody that tells you the difference, full of shit. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, because we all have a little bit of douchebag in us. It's just that some have full bags of douche hanging off their freaking shoulders. You know what I mean? Full bag of douchiness. You know what I mean? It's a facts, man. You know it's the truth. Guys can be, I would say, but women as of late have become just as douchey as the dudes. I feel like women weren't as douchey probably over the last 20 years. Have turned into bigger douchebags, just like how guys are.
Welcome social media.
Welcome the induction of social media into society, because that's exactly what has happened. Is it's kind of like goes back to when you look at social media too, and you see people like living their best lives, like you've said before in the past. You know what I mean? But you don't see all the bullshit happening in the background. That they have to go through in their normal lives, because nobody wants to post their weaknesses, what they think is a weakness, and things of that nature. They only want to post, look at me, I'm out on a freaking, cruise ship. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then, you know what I mean? And da 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 da. But they don't see the hardships at home. You know what I mean? Because nobody's going to post that shit. You know what I mean? Because then nobody wants to follow you, because then you're like, oh, that guy's always depressed, or he looks like he's in a bad mood. But I think it's okay to talk about those things. Shining example, I have somebody that I follow, and she actually follows me too on Instagram. And she was talking about it. She got laid off on her job. You know what I mean? But she was completely out in the open about what's happened in her life. You know what I mean? And I actually thought, man, that's a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? When I was reading that post and looking at her pictures.
Yeah, seeing the vulnerability of somebody.
Yeah. And it's like going, see, now that's real shit to me. That's real life. Not this, oh, let me paint the happy little trees. Let me paint the happy little trees over here in the corner. Oh, yeah. Look at the sun and the mountains. And here's the real bullshit that happens in people's lives. I can relate to that.
I don't really follow anybody that's like that paints all these rosy pictures all the time. Like I follow like real people that have real everyday problems.
But I'm just saying, but you do get that mixture of people that are in there, especially, from our page and stuff like that. I mean, we're over 11,000 followers strong. You know what I mean? So since I'm very heavily.
Let's go.
Yeah, I know. LFG bitches. But, I want to have 20,000 by the end of the month. Go.
100,000. Let's
Share
go,
all
baby.
Our shit. Go to your friends, whatever. But anyway, so yeah, I just feel like, when it comes to the passport bro thing, it's like more power to the dudes, man, and more power to the women. If they see foreign men that are treating them better, than American men, by all means, get rid of the douchebags and start going overseas and finding fucking husbands and shit. If that's the way you feel, if you feel like there's a bunch of douchebag guys, do the same thing, ladies. It's okay. Who cares if you're basic? I mean, who the freaking hell invented that word anyway? It's about the dumbest shit ever, in my opinion. Yeah, douchebags.
Pretty much.
Douchebags invented that word.
Pretty much.
Douchebags. You're a basic bitch. You know what I mean? Whatever.
I saw a guy that made a post, and it really resonated with me. I should have screenshot it, but I didn't. And basically, what the message was, he's like, I don't drink alcohol. I don't stay up late and party. I don't eat junk food all the time. I work and work out on a schedule. And if you consider me lame and old, that makes me incredibly happy, because there's nothing that makes me feel better than not having the approval of people that I don't want to emulate anyways.
Boom.
And I was like, oh shit. Okay.
Snap, bitch.
There you go. Yeah. He's like, he's like, I don't want, you don't want my lifestyle. That's great, because I don't want your lifestyle. So we're good. We're good right where we're at. And I was like, all right, I see you there. And, I'm starting to, at my 47 years young, I'm starting to really hone in on not listening to people that don't matter.
That and also what I've been really focused on, because I'm the ripe age of 53, going on 54. My thing is I'm starting to appreciate my surroundings more. And what I mean by that is cutting back on the noise and enjoying nature and realizing how special we really have it here on Earth to live in a paradise that we live in. I mean, we really do live on a planet that has given us everything. You know what I mean? And I know I'm going to sound like it's cliche, whatever, but I'm just being honest, man. Take some time, take your shoes off, go out in your backyard, front yard, whatever, walk in the grass, feel it, feel nature around you. And you're going to feel a totally different way when you just disconnect from your phone, limit your screen time, do that kind of shit, guys. I mean, I know I just went off on a tangent right there, but I
actually think that's an amazing way to end this episode.
Yeah.
Go outside, especially on days like that we've had this last couple of days in Florida, not the rainy days, but the days where it's been sunny and cool and beautiful.
Yes.
Like just this morning, I went out and got a walk in because it was just such a gorgeous morning, and it's gorgeous outside right now as we're recording this episode.
Let's go for a walk.
So, I think that's a great way to end this show. Let's, get out, enjoy the sunlight, enjoy the world. Look up, don't look down. Look at the things around you. Look at everything you have to be grateful for.
Well said.
Yep. So, Brad, you want to lead us out?
Yeah, just real quick, I want to touch on one thing, guys. Listen, coming up in April, we are going to be attending for 2 days. I'm not going to give away the dates just yet until I have them nailed down, but I just figured we'd go ahead and get you thinking about this. If you're going out to Sun and Fun in Lakeland, Florida, we will be at Sun and Fun, and we are going to do a live feed show. So you will have that link. You'll be able to find us either on Facebook, the X, if you're on Twitter, and YouTube Live as well. So we're going to try to get this into the works and get it built out, and we'll let you guys know the specific dates and times and nail it down. So if you want to listen in, you can from wherever you're at. We'll also, more than likely, Mike and I might be actually going up in a couple of airplanes. So pay attention to social media for that one, because I'm scared to death of flying in planes where Mike's going to probably look cool as a cucumber and I'm going to look like the screaming bitch. So just pay attention to these next few episodes over the next month or so, and we'll nail down these times and dates for you. And we'll let you know also sponsorships and things of that nature too as well. Mikey, you got anything before we get out of here, brother?
Hey, everybody, have a great day. Go out there, enjoy the sunshine. Remember to live life to the fullest and die on E, baby. Die on E.
There you go. And don't forget, head over to dailybm.com, and you can follow us on all our socials. Don't forget to click on those and like and subscribe to as well. And we will see you guys on the flip side.
Have a good one.
Deuces.